Okay, so for your question, name the top 3 candidates you don't want to work with. Your opponent can be on your top 3.
I don't want to work with. Okay, I don't want you guys to take this personally, but I just have to follow the rule. Probably Mark, Richard, and Francie.
First question. Based on your application for, you strongly believe that you are qualified to become the next president. It is based on your strengths, am I right? So first strength, let's talk about leadership experience. You've mentioned it already. Based on your application form, I've seen that the highest position I think experience aside from being a VP is to become a project head of the Chevron Talk, am I right? And also, you're project manager for documentations and publications for IT uprising. Do you think all of these experiences are already enough for you to become the next president?
Let me add more to that. I have another much more higher position than just the project head. I was also the project director for internal systems when I was in second year, which is probably the equivalent of the associate vice president for internal systems this year. Well, aside from those MISA projects I've underwent, I've also held presidency positions back in high school, and I've underwent a lot of leadership trainings this year, especially in ROTC and in ASLA. For all of you who don't know that, that's the Ateneo Student Leaders Assembly, and I'm fortunately part of the lucky group that got selected out of all the campuses in Ateneo. And so aside from my experiences, I've also learned a lot of theories in leadership, and of course the constant mentoring of Mr. Marvin Baldoria and my co-beta in e-services have always helped me learn more in leadership. Aside from that, I'm also the project manager in my academics group, and in ROTC I handle roughly around 30-40 people, all sophomores that don't really know me, but
second point, you mentioned that your strength is professionalism, and based on your application form, you said that your friends and colleagues can attest to it. Can I request your friends or colleagues who are here right now to attest to it? AVPs, speaking of AVPs.
Siyempre, ikaw yung boss ko, diba? So, why is it that there are times na mukhang kami na lang yung sumasagot ng trabaho? Is that professionalism?
The first thing you have to think about here is yung structure kasi natin. What we've talked about and what I've observed from you guys when you work is somehow a wee bit informal. And I had to adapt to what you three usually, what you were used to. So yun, a bit informal din ako. And yun nga, I had to adapt to that kind of organization. I mean, that kind of method. Well, as I mentioned nga, when the need arises, especially when we have to meet for projects, like projects under Uber, his project managers can probably say that I'm already really present in their meetings, and I have a lot of stuff to say when they meet, especially when they plan. In some projects, however, I am part not just as a vice president, but also a developer. That's why sometimes you have to understand the differences between our roles. For example, in Blue Book, I'm a developer, so I have to follow or understand some probably roles that I'm the developer for that. So,
talking about professionalism. What in your mind about the MISA Accord?
Yeah.
Pero wala yung getting from the services namin kahit MISA.
Yeah.
How can you say na professional ka? Kung sa lagi, not every time na you-remind ka, and every time na sabi mo sa pero wala kang sa amin ng
siguro the first thing to consider is with the project kasi the Blue Book, the MISA Accord was already developed a few years ago, last year, and what we did this year was we didn't plan to implement it. We had this new project now, which was Blue Book, that we plan to implement with MISA. So every time you had a request, the services had to think about the Blue Book and how it could adapt to yung sa demands nila. So, well, I understand that it is my responsibility that the internals wasn't able to utilize this Anchor this year because we weren't able to deliver. So yeah, I'm fully responsible and aware of that, and I basically have no excuse but say that we weren't able to deliver.
So, kapag president ka, so, I have, ano yung nasa ito? I take full responsibility.
No, I said, yeah.
Kapag pamilihan mo ito, pag president ka,
Thing is kasi, what you have, well, in projects naman kasi, you have to think also na kung ano yung mga dinidemand ng mga kliyente mo or ng mga substituents mo. Consider mo rin kung tatanggapin mo ba talaga in the first place or hindi. And,
ganun ba yung awkward? Critical for you?
well, yeah, it was critical. Ayun nga, the thing is, I have to sigurado. Nag-work naman yung internals cluster this year. Sabi nga, sobrang sumablay talaga. Hello? Yan. Hindi hindi proper yung collaboration between us kasi probably, well, somehow to stress the point kasi the division who was assigned, the people there weren't really trained to develop that yet. So, hindi talaga napagkaroon ng output.
Ba't hindi na lang ginamit yung last year?
Actually, we said na gagamitin sana yung sa last year.
Pero nangyari, ba't ano nangyari?
Hindi, wait, file retrieval.
Next question. You said that here in your application form,
Yes, sir.
under leadership experience, that you can adapt to new situation and you can train and lead in many different fields and in many situations. Give me one specific situation wherein you were able to handle a difficult person or a team, and what were the results?
First, well, we have to see that here in our current structure, I have 3 dynamic people with me that have really varying personalities. And well, the mere fact that you can make them work somehow is probably already an achievement. But what more is that to let them come up with outputs, to let them balance their MISA work with their work in ACADS, I think. Well, probably one exception is, I don't know, but am I allowed to mention? Anyway, yun,
Bunny, I just want to point out, they really will work together because they are already friends from the start. So, how about another situation?
And it's not an achievement to make them work together.
well, I don't know, I could easily set or give an example from my ROTC experience, but I don't know if that qualifies. Here, there was this example, this one time when we had this ROTC training and I had to train the air police for martial arts, and had to train for about 3 hours, and that was around 5:30 in the morning. And well, they basically learned a lot, and what I've shared with them regarding the knowledges of Wi-Fi and how it may be implemented in the ROTC setting, well, they've adapted it very well. Well, that's just one example.
Di ba dapat sa'yo mag-a-adapt sa'yo? Kasi ikaw yung leader. Kasi yung dapat para sa susunod sa'yo.
Well, you have to think also na ikaw yung mag-a-adapt to that kind of setting kasi you can't really change personalities at all at once, and that's 3 people over 1. No. It was my personal choice to adapt to your kind of work or setting.
Pero hindi ba kaming mga applicants, kunyari yung mga mananalo sa amin, mag-a-adapt na sa amin lahat at sa mga members pa na iba-iba rin?
No, the point is kasi na if you are the one in well, it's much more beneficial for that case, for example, to adapt to that kind of situation. Pero halimbawa, these new people, new group, tapos wala pang certain dynamics, you're the one to get to lead the dynamics of this group. So you become the leader.